Things, global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. Despite the verdict made by the Supreme Court validating Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency and invalidating Peter Obi's articles, it looks like that matter is not totally ended, as Labour Party is making very huge demands. I guess this is not the end of the road after all. Well, before we go into the news proper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You'll see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Now, according to the press release, the Supreme Court issued a hearing notice dated 25th of October 2023, notifying Labour Party LP and its candidate in the presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi, that judgment will be delivered in their appeal to the Supreme Court in appeal number SC/CV/937/2023 on Thursday, 26th of October 2023. Now, on the 26th of October 2023, Labour Party and her lawyers were in court. Now, the Supreme Court proceeded to read the judgment in appeal number SC/CV/935/2023 filed by the People's Democratic Party (PDP). After that, the presiding justice, His Lordship John Inyanga-Koro, JSC, verbally stated that the decision in the Labour Party appeal would abide by the judgment just delivered in respect of the PDP appeal. Now, the Labour Party finds the position taken by the Supreme Court regarding the judgment in her appeal extraordinary, terribly shocking, most unprecedented and unacceptable for the following reasons. 1. The appeal filed by both the PDP and the Labour Party from the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court were two distinct appeals which emanated from two separate judgments of the Court of Appeal. 2. That the two appeals were not even consolidated at the Supreme Court but were heard separately. 3. At a separate hearing of both appeals, the question was never raised, the parties never agreed, and the court never gave a directive nor ordered that the judgment in one appeal would abide by the decision in the other. 4. The petitions from where the two appeals arose were heard separately at the Court of Appeal based on separate pleadings and different sets of witnesses. Thus, the facts of the two petitions were remarkably different. 5. The only issue where the parties agreed in the two appeals were the 25% vote in Abuja. The other issues submitted to the Supreme Court for determination in the two appeals differed remarkably. By way of illustrations, we draw attention to some of the issues. A. Forfeiture of funds being proceeds of narcotics trafficking contained in the Labour Party petition and not in the reply. B. Double nomination of the third respondent who was not even a party in the PDP petition. C. Failure to comply with the mandatory requirement of Section 73, subsection 2 of the Electoral Act 2022, the consequences of which the provision stipulates renders the election invalid. Then D. The effect of the certified true copies of 18,123 blood and unreadable polling unit result sheet form which was gotten from Form EC8As downloaded from the IREF issued by INEC to the Labour Party, its candidate, which they tendered in court. Some were blank A4 papers, pictures, images of unknown persons. They were purported to be copies of the polling unit result. Even with the materialization of the issue, the Court of Appeal evaded making a finding on it. Now, 6. They were all part of Labour Party appeal, but not that of the PDP appeal. 7. The Labour Party had out of an abundance of caution, by letter dated 26th of October 2023, applied to the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court for the certified true copy of the judgment in Labour Party appeal. There was a reminder through a letter on the 8th November 2023. However, to date, the requests have been ignored. And the Labour Party is also aware that by the provision of Section 294, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, every court established under the Constitution, which necessarily includes the Supreme Court, has a duty to 1. Furnish all parties to the cause or matter determined with duly authenticated copies of the decision within 7 days of the delivery or thereof. The Supreme Court has failed to do this in the present appeal. Now, in conclusion, the Labour Party finds it very embarrassing and depressing that the Supreme Court would, after hearing the appeal by our party, refuse to deliver any judgment and also fail to avail our party of any copy of whatever it considers to be a decision. 5. With every sense of responsibility, the Labour Party believes that the Supreme Court's conduct is regrettable and unprecedented. This constitutes an unmitigated breach of the constitutional right of Labour Party and her candidate to a fair hearing. This is signed by Alhaji Omar Farouk Ibrahim, National Secretary. My colleague is in the house. And this is getting interesting. In summary, what Peter Obi and Labour Party's legal team is saying, that they are joining issues with PDP, while as what they petitioned and did the appeal during the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal were separate appeals. And the verdict was given to PDP. And they just joined it, lumped it up, without giving directive to that. And they're saying in all sense of, without taking missing words, that their appeal was different, their verdict should be different, and they don't even, okay, fine, if there was a verdict, where is the certified true copies? Where is the judgment delivery of the judgment delivery notes, so that they can actually have, at least they've asked for it 8 days after, which is supposed to be available, but still not. What's your take on this drama? Which means by default, what Labour Party is saying literally is that there was no judgment. What's your take, please?
All right. The issue here is very, very, would I say, it's troubling, because right now, the people dragged into this whole show is the judiciary. And I must say that at a time like this, it is quite a troubling moment for anybody to be a lawyer, because judiciary has displayed high level of disorganization, high level of incompetency, even to the Supreme Court. Now, 2 cases were brought in. First was Atiku Abubakar versus Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And the second one was Peter Obi versus Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Atiku has gotten his own CTC judgment. But up till date, Labour Party has not gotten theirs. Now, which therefore means that the target of this whole judgment in the Supreme Court was Atiku, because Atiku had a lot of things at hand. They failed to realize that Peter Obi also brought the case. So whatever judgment that was given to Peter Obi or to Atiku Abubakar was the same that they shifted to be. And they believe that they should share the CTC judgment given to Atiku. Maybe Peter Obi should go and meet him because it is his respected elder brother. And say, please give me a copy of it. Let me file it in Labour Party legal department. I mean, this is really, really absurd. And I must say that Ariwola, who is the CGN, has not been doing his job, because some of these things demand there to be a public disclaimer on the part of the top guys, and also calling these Supreme Court judges to order. You know, if people have been placing demand writing, now normally CTC is meant to be released 7 to 14 days into the hands of the litigant. But up till today, which is almost 1 month plus, Peter Obi has not gotten his own. And there have been several reminders that have been sent across to them. Now, if truly you carry out a judgment and there was something you read as your final verdict in that judgment, it should be in at least, okay, let's say because of how Nigeria has turned out to be, where nobody really cares about anything, but at least there should be a copy of it. Because of the frequency of reading, there should be a copy of it in the computer, where you will now call for it to be printed. I mean, this is really the lowest of the judiciary. That's the lowest level for judiciary. They have failed, and I think the confidence reposed on them has really depleted.
All right, but just a quick addition. I feel that this whole thing is coming up because of what happened in Kano. They must have seen disparity in the judgment, and hence Peter Obi's legal teams realized they could also look at the judgment and see probably loopholes. But the question is to what end, because the Supreme Court is the final level in Nigeria. Well, that's going to wrap it up.